My boy Troy Bolton went crazy. What's up guys, it's Jorge and I'm back with another movie review. This time is the newly released Netflix original movie, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. Damn, I thought I wasn't gonna say that in the first try. But if this is your first time in my channel, make sure that you hit that little subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And let's get right into this one, guys. Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile is a biopic directed by Joe Bellinger, and it stars Zac Efron as the charming, maniacal serial killer Ted Bundy. The movie chronicles the crimes of Ted Bundy from the perspective of his longtime girlfriend, played by Lily Collins, who refused to believe he did all these crimes for a long time. When the trailer first came out, I was very interested to see how Zac Efron would play as Bundy, and he did a pretty good job showing how charismatic and charming he was as a person. But also a lot of people were not happy with the way that they were showcasing and sexualizing and showing the better side of Ted Bundy as a person. But how do you think he was able to get all these women? He was a very charismatic and charming person, and for some reason a lot of the girls found him very attractive. The director of this movie is the same guy that directed the Netflix documentary Conversation with a Serial Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes. So he really knows his stuff, you know? And that is something that the movie showed while he was in trial. There was a lot of girls in the sitting behind him, basically, and they were being interviewed and they said, oh, he scares me, but they were also attracted to him. And that was, that's pretty weird. And this is a very fascinating story because without you knowing the background of this person, you will think that he's a pretty okay guy. And that's what's really scary about it. You wouldn't think that this regular Joe from down the street is able to do all these hideous things and then act like nothing happened after that, like in front of you. And basically, he did a pretty good job convincing people for a pretty long time that he was innocent, even though we find out, of course, that he was in fact guilty of every single murder that he was accused of. This man was in jail for 15 years, but actually he escaped not once, but twice. Like, how do you let this psychopath escape from prison twice? Like, who's looking at this dude? And it really is fascinating to see how this person acts and how he was able to get away with it for so long. And what is good with all these Disney actors becoming serial killers in movies? First, we have Rose Lynch as the Milwaukee cannibal Jeffrey Dahmer. And now we have Zac Efron as Ted Bundy. Like, are you guys okay? You guys want to talk about this? But of course, we also made Lily Collins' characters, Elizabeth Kopler, and this is basically her movie. We're seeing the story from her perspective, and we're seeing how she is dealing with seeing that the person that she loved the most, or at least she thought she loved the most, is actually a serial killer. And we see how that is messing with her emotions and how she's coping with it. And I can't really blame her for the way that she handled the way that she did. It was a nightmare for her. Like, how would you feel if the person that you thought you loved the most and basically were about to get married with is actually a serial killer? Like, all this information just hits you at once. Like, one day she was having the best life of her life, and the next day she basically is dating, or she's engaged to a serial killer. Like, that would mess me up so bad. But let me tell you a little bit more about the pace of the movie. They decided to not show the killings of the victims, and instead they focused more in the trials and what he did there. But I personally would have liked to see how he was interacting with them, which they only show like once in the movie. And instead of making us think that he was innocent, because it's been like 40 years, we all know that he's actually guilty of everything that he did. Or at least show us more of what he did when he escaped from the prison those 2 times, because they went over it pretty quickly. He escaped from the prison, he runs away, he changes his clothes, and then we skipped back to him being caught. Like, can we see what happened during that week that he was off? I guess it was because I saw the documentary first and they hit all those points with details because they have more time, but I just wanted them to talk about those things a little bit more in depth. But I believe the movie had good writing and a good director, And even though it wasn't a perfect film, and it might not be for everyone, especially if you have a strong feeling about serial killers, nonetheless, I think you will have a good time watching this movie, and I do recommend it. I give Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile a 7.5 out of 10, and I feel like it will be a good movie for you to spend a couple of hours. But let me know in the comments below how you feel about the movie. Do you like it, or are you going to watch it? Are you not interested? Just comment down below. I can't wait to talk about it with you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.